Welcome to English 3, Quest 2, Visual Media Analysis. We're going to work with a strategy today called 4-quadrant. You'll need a sheet of plain paper, as not to distract you, in order to create the visual. So any white piece of paper will do, or a piece of paper that has lines is fine. Just probably not something with lots of graphics. Okay? You're going to take your paper and you're going to fold your paper in half, creasing it at the bottom. Okay? Once your paper is creased at the bottom, it will look like this. Then you'll want to generate another crease using another fold. So essentially you're going to create 4 squares. Once you're done folding, your paper will look like this, and you'll be able to open it and see 4 boxes, if you will. Okay? You'll want to eliminate one of the boxes by ripping off one part. When you've ripped, you will have a tactile visual analyzer that looks like this. 2 side-by-side boxes, 1 box at the top with 1 box missing. You may pause if you need to finish creating your visual analyzer. What's really great about the visual analyzer is that it works for a computer screen or a tablet screen as well. It allows you to look at individual sections closely as not to miss any of the author's message. Okay, I think we're ready to get started. Now you'll see that we're able to focus on just one part of the visual. In the background, we see smoke and we see what appears to be another soldier. So there is a battle that began before this snapshot. Closer in our visual plane, we see a soldier that has on army fatigues and a sock, and it appears that instead of a grenade that you would normally hold in an upward position to throw, he has a sock. And so for some reason this sock is a weapon, and we don't know why. We just know there's some reason why this soldier is using a sock as a weapon in this battle. Okay, now we're ready to look at quadrant 2. So you'll take your analyzer and you can flip it, and it allows you to see quadrant 2. Now we can see part of the soldier's arm, we can see his hand, and he appears to be standing very closely to a structure which looks like a building of some sort. And there is glass that's broken, allowing an entry point for his, air quote, sock grenade to attack the enemy, because he's going to use it to try to win this battle against some type of enemy, which I'm going to assume is inside of this building, and he has access to this person through the broken glass. Okay? So he's fighting an enemy inside of the building, and he's going to use his sock against the enemy. Now we'll want to flip our visual analyzer around so that our next quadrant is shown. We see that the soldier has his sock and his boot off. His boot is lying on the ground, and we can assume now that that's his sock that he's using, and we're not sure why. Again, you can see more smoke in the background, which again tells us that this battle hasn't just begun. This battle has been going on before this visual, and we see that his other leg is normal. He has on boots, and his leg is fully covered, and we cannot see his foot. And now we'll look at the 4th quadrant so we can see the final piece of the visual puzzle. Now we can see that the window is open, more at the bottom because of the glass is missing, and so it's still obviously broken. But we also see words at the bottom now. A Federal gets rid of deadly foot odor, and there's a canister with a footprint that shows us that this has something to do with fighting foot odor. So now we know what this battle and this war is about. So when I take this away, we can look at the visual as a whole and answer some questions. We've already drawn conclusions for each quadrant based on our own background knowledge and what's presented in the visual. Like I said, I know that a soldier would hold a grenade up in his hand or her hand and plan to throw it to defeat the enemy. So I knew that this sock was intended to be some type of weapon. And we know now, based on the slogan at the bottom for this product, that it is indeed a deadly weapon. Okay, so let's talk about the audience. Who was this advertisement created for? Well, we know that it's created for people with foot odor. But we also know that there's a man in this photo, and the army fatigue and the way that the setting is demonstrated through pictures and the typeface and the images it probably wouldn't be very appealing to a woman. So I can go as far as to say that this was created for men with deadly foot odor. Otherwise, they may have had a woman pairing with this soldier to fight against foot odor if they were trying to reach a female audience. Okay. The next question that I would ask myself is, how is this media different than a regular traditional print text? So if there was an essay about how to fight foot odor, what would that look like in comparison? Well, there would be more words for sure. So this visual is intended to speak through the pictures and the images that you see, versus a traditional print is expected to communicate a message effectively using words. And they may create imagery, but there will be plenty of words to do that. This is short, succinct, and we're supposed to get it just by looking at the visual and the very few words and the images that are here. And finally, we would want to ask ourselves, is this advertisement effective? And then we would want to talk about why or why not. And I would say yes, this visual is effective because it is humorous. Anytime something is humorous, it reaches a different type of dynamic, or a different type of audience, has a different dynamic. And it also claims to get rid of deadly foot odor. And this scene that they set with the images is very persuasive. So if I were battling with foot odor and it's claiming that it'll get rid of even deadly foot odor, I would probably give it a whirl if I had the issue and nothing had been successful. So we're done with this quest. I would like to thank you for your time. Don't forget, examine 4 quadrants every time you're looking at a visual. Make sure you're making inferences and drawing conclusions based on your background knowledge, and be prepared to answer questions using evidence from the visual. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.